Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
I'm Sam.
Isaac.
This is Motorsports.
This is Barney.
Alright, so on the Corolla here, we're going to be separating the motor and tranny today. Well, just me. But finally going to get the ball rolling on this so we can get a clutch ordered. Pretty simple. There's nothing really holding it together. We already got the starter off. We did that before we pulled it. Bolt here, here, here. Two underneath, one on the other side. And then that one, and it should just come apart. Easy as that. Alright, now I'm just going to take the clutch and flywheel off. See how bad it's burnt. And this is why you break in clutches. You can see this pressure plate is just toast. So many hot spots. The flywheel wasn't the greatest to begin with. That's why we got a new one. And it's seen better days. The disc is just toast.
What's up, guys? Back with the Corolla. I've ordered a whole bunch of parts. I ordered gaskets, I ordered a clutch, rear brakes, rear main seal, a couple other things. I'm in a bit of a rush to get this done. I got about 3 weeks before the drag races in La Crosse. I've already invited a ton of my family and stuff. And I set up a trailer and truck to tow this thing down there and race it. So I'm in a rush. I gotta get this thing done. I'm going to take off valve cover oil pan today. I'm going to bring it into work tomorrow to clean it up, get it all nice. And pretty much just get ready for when parts start coming in and slap it together as fast as I can, make sure everything's right, fix all that intercooler piping that I had, and hopefully I make it to the races. Alright, so I'm going to show you the clutch Isaac took out of it.
This is the good side, the side that's on the pressure plate, or on the flywheel.
Yep.
And then you get to the pressure plate side.
And it is just torn up.
Not a single groove on it.
And this flywheel feels like a rotor, like a brake rotor, for how gouged out this thing is and how discolored it is. So I got a brand new flywheel. I just ordered my clutch. And we got the oil pan off. I ordered an oil pan gasket and then a Jesus. We got the valve cover off. Looks decently clean, but it did look like it was leaking a lot over here. So I got a new valve cover gasket coming. I'm gonna take the oil pan and the valve cover into work. Probably hot tank them and sandblast them and paint them and make them look sweet for no reason really, because everything else looks like shit. Like I keep saying, I keep doing things to make it look better, but the rest of it looks like shit, so I don't know why I even waste my time. But I really just want it to function where it doesn't leak. That's kind of the main goal here. Alright guys, so it's the next day. I'm back. I took off my oil pan and my valve cover yesterday. Today I took them into work. And sandblasted and painted my valve or my oil pan. Turned out pretty decent. It had a lot of RTV on it, so kind of had to scrape and sandblast and scrape and sandblast. And I hot tanked my valve cover and completely primered it. And my plan for that is I'm going to use this antique metallic brass, which is the same color that I used on my rims. So the valve cover is going to match the rims because I figured why not. And I picked up some high heat clear coat. So here's my official paint stand. I'm just going to set it right on there and start going to town on it. My gaskets should be here maybe tomorrow, probably by Friday. So I should be able to have this motor valve cover back on, oil pan back on. My clutch should be in tomorrow or Friday. Get the clutch on, get the tranny on, throw the motor in. I'm getting rear brakes still coming in. I might have this car running by like middle of next week. We'll see how well everything goes. Alright, so I used about a half a can of spray paint so far. It's looking pretty good. Looking pretty even. Not seeing any real spots I missed or anything. Maybe under here a touch actually. But yeah, this is about done. So I'm going to spray one more coat on there just to get those two spots I missed and do another light layer over the whole thing just in case. And then I'm going to spray the clear on it and let it dry overnight. Alright, so I think I just put my last coat on. I might double back on it and do one more, but I think that's it for right now. It's looking nice and even. Didn't miss any spots that I can see yet. Matches up nice. So I'm gonna let that dry overnight and then I'll come here tomorrow, hopefully with a whole bunch of parts and really get cracking on this thing. Alright, I got some more parts in for the Corolla. I got a whole kit of intercooler piping and clamps and stuff. I got the rear brakes and I got the rear main seal. So tonight I'm just going to be prepping the surfaces for the oil pan and the head or the valve cover. I'm just going to prep those, get them all ready, and then tomorrow my gaskets and clutch will be in, so I'll put my oil pan and valve cover on. Then I'll put my clutch on, get the transmission mounted up, and possibly look at throwing the motor in. Yeah, just prepping surfaces for tonight. I'll get back to you tomorrow. Back for another day of Corolla stuff. I got my clutch in, I got my flywheel, I got a rear main seal right here, I got the oil pan, my gasket, because I ordered a gasket and I think it's this whole upper pan gasket and I just wanted this and they didn't have any anywhere. It was on with RTV, no gasket before. I want it in today, so I'm just gonna RTV it, put it back. So I got my oil pan on and use RTV. You just kind of do it pretty finger tight until the RTV starts pushing out the sides. And then you let it dry for about an hour before you fully tighten it to let the gasket cure a little bit. And I wiped some of the excess off because I really RTV'd the piss out of it. So I'm gonna wait for that to dry, I'll tighten it up and then start on the rest of it. Hooking the motor up, being very careful because I put the valve cover on so I don't get any shit in the head. So Isaac is being awesome about it and trying not to scratch it so far. It'll probably get hacked up either way, we'll see. Got her up on the table. Easy spot to work on the rear main, put the flywheel clutch on, and we'll put her back down for the transmission over there. New flywheel, new clutch are on, looking nice and shiny. Game plan for today, mount the transmission. Alright, got the tranny mounted on. We're about to move the car over and slap it in. Alright, motor is on all the mounts. Pretty much time to just hook up some wiring, some hoses. This valve cover doesn't have a gasket, but it should be delivered today. So when that comes in, I'll go get it. We're gonna have to take a little break at some point, but I'm gonna see how much I can get hooked up. And we gotta redo this intercooler piping that was held up by a rope and that side over there. We'll see how far we get before the break. Quick little update. I got my turbo back on. Most everything's plugged in the back. Got some shift linkage and clutch lines going on over here. Next is gonna be radiator, battery. I gotta take my valve cover off and put a new gasket on and then do all the plugs and wires and all that stuff up top. But I gotta run home to get that gasket that just got delivered. So I'll do that and I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. I got my valve cover gasket, so I got my valve cover on, and I can start to run my wiring and stuff. Got a couple lines hooked up to it. I'm struggling with a couple things. So first off, my clutch line right here will not thread into this. Isaac was getting upset, I'm getting upset. I'm gonna go see if I can get a new line and see if that threads into here, and if that's bad, I'll replace that. But for right now, I'm hooking up the radiator. I'm gonna put the axles in. I'm gonna hook up the return line for the oil on the turbo and start filling it all with fluids. And then it'll be time for battery. So here's the old smashed up pipe, and here's the coupler for it, which you can see a nice big hole in it, little boost leak. So here's the new pipe I'm going to use, not smashed. New coupler. I'm going to route it just a little different. Throw that on. Alright, so here's my clutch line, and the threads on this side are messed up. So I went to the parts store. Thank you for holding off on that. And got a new one, and I'm just bending it right over right now. It just needs to go from right over here. Can't see nothing to this right here. Make it happen. Alright, another update. Battery's in, catch can, fluids are all in. I gotta run a vacuum line. And we're pretty close to the first startup. Then I'm just gonna let it run and bleed the coolant, and then I gotta put like 500 miles easy on it to break in the clutch. We'll see if it lasts more than like 50. Alright, so I've run into a couple small problems. First, I stripped one of the exhaust studs.
Straight out of the head.
Yeah. There's one bolt on the oil pan that broke, so I was just...
That one we could drill out though.
Yeah,
it's a good spot.
It goes straight through, so I'm gonna drill it out, put a bolt in the nut. Probably not do it today, whatever, I don't care. But he's gonna try to tap that and possibly use a bolt in it. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so Isaac worked his magic a little bit. We got it tapped out, and instead of a stud like the rest of them, we actually found a bolt that fits right in there. Tightened up nice, didn't strip the new threads, so that's good. We're just doing a quick once over because I'm a little too excited. I'm trying to just start it right now, so I'm gonna take my time, look over everything, make sure it's all good. And we're going for the first startup right now.
Alright, we're going for the first our startup.
Pray for this car, man.
Nothing leaking. Smoking a little bit from the header.
That might be self burning on, probably not.
And it's just like oil on the header, looks like.
I'll pull it outside.
First time she's moved out of the shop in what, 2 months? Month and a half?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, we're probably just gonna bleed the coolant and then take her for a rip.
So my power steering pump's leaking.
Can't get it to stop.
Yep. So here's our solution. Belt's gone, pump's not gonna move no more.
No more leak.
I'm gonna try to figure it out, we'll see, but
Might just need a new crush washer or something in there.
yeah, well, I'll check into it, but it's...
What's a belt anyways, so.
Yeah. I mean, that belt was probably worn out anyways, so I'm gonna run it just to bleed the coolant. I'm not gonna have power steering for a few days till I break my clutch in. It's gonna be a drag car, so I don't need to turn anyways.
Got the coolant all bled. You know, take her for a rip.
Smells like corn.
Gotta love the smell of E85.
Did you tighten the lug nuts?
No,
Actually?
I impacted them.
Oh, that's not... Somebody's having a campfire. Oh, it's just my car.
Oh, it's just the clutch, don't worry.
Let's go.